think outside the box, if you will. I mean, go there, go off campus. Let's think this through. And sure enough, that's where the Mustang was born. When it finally hit, it took the country by storm.
Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of Cars in Context. I'm your host, John Clor. You know, this is the Motor City, and this is the show where we put cars into the context of your everyday life. You know, we will absolutely love this wonderful automotive heritage we have in Detroit, but we'll make no apologies for a decidedly Detroit perspective. And that's just what you're going to get downstairs here at Cobo Hall, because downstairs is Autorama Extreme. This is the other end of the Autorama. It's the culture of the car in places and ways that you've never heard before. And to really take us through this time is going to be Chris Sawyer of the virtualdriver.com. Chris.
Hi, John. How are you? This is
so,
my first time down here.
I'm so glad you know, last year, if you go back on our YouTube channel and check out Autorama Extreme, Joe Babias came down here and he interviewed everybody from pinup girls to all, I mean, these people were walking and talking culture. And when you come down here, you've never been down here?
No.
Now this is
all the girls look like they're Abby from NCIS.
This is the opposite of what you're going to find upstairs, folks. Upstairs, the high polished cars, the multi-million-dollar customs and rods. Down here, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah. It says what, the Telegraph Cruisers? I don't know if you'll see this little pickup on Telegraph, but Chris, I want you to know, this truck is finished.
Yeah, it looks finished.
No, I don't mean finished like finished. I mean, it's done being completed. This truck runs and drives. Look, he's got that cool license plate on it, like you said, because now you know it's a 53.
He's running on a 53,
That's
exactly.
right, how cool that is.
You can do that in this thing.
This is the subculture where you don't have to buy your car that's highly finished and polished and customized. You run what you brung, find something in the barn, fix it up, get it to drive, have its own personality, that patina of age. It's all part of the subculture that we love down here at Autorama Extreme. We're going to walk you through the entire show down here, kind of get you the flavor of what you might see when you come downstairs. And really, Chris, I think there's everything down here you can possibly imagine.
Oh, and then some.
I think it's that creativity thing.
Oh, absolutely. This is wild.
Now, and if you haven't been downstairs, don't just run through the upstairs and go home. Make sure you get on the escalator, come down to Autorama Extreme and check it out. We're going to be checking out, so follow along with us. I hope this next half hour is going to be fun for you. Come on, guys, let's go. All right, we told you about all the cool stuff you're going to find down here, Chris. This isn't your typical car show. I mean, when you talk about personal creativity from designers, this is personal creativity from guys. This is the backyard guys that want to make something so different. It's not an $80,000 paint job.
Oh, no. I mean,
this
has got a frame that guys built up, fabbed himself.
Right.
I mean, it's beautiful.
I mean, the way he set it up, there's a picture there, Chris, of him pulling it out of some farm somewhere.
Yeah.
And just to think that, you know, okay, so this is a little bit Spartan, but look, he's got a late model steering wheel. He's got parts that he's taken from out of the junkyards.
Mm-hmm. It's a Bitsa. Bits of this, bits of that.
It's a Bitsa?
Yeah.
It's a Bitsa. Oh, that's right. I never knew that. It's kind of like, I think the unfinished look is something these guys are going for.
Yes, they're not going for the really high polished look. This is much more of a, this isn't flat, but it also isn't very glossy.
I wouldn't
a lot of orange peel.
Yeah, but you're right, but that's part of its appeal.
Yeah, no, well, exactly. But actually, you know, that's not actually orange peel.
You know,
it's a smooth paint job.
You know,
how did he do this?
It's like a flat, you know, this
it's not actually flat. It's
like
it's a semi-gloss in a way.
Would you call it like a satin finish?
Not quite. It's somewhere in between. That's really cool.
So when you go to Lowe's, it's really going to be hard to have them
exactly.
match.
It's going to be hard to match.
So even here at Home Depot. But this is the kind of cool car. I mean, look, the seats are, you know, out of a late model car. He's got just primered the floor. But, you know, functionally, it doesn't run and drive, but it's got that unfinished kind of, you know.
And with this big honking mother in it, that's fast.
You ain't kidding. But speaking of something that's unfinished, this is a really
This is more of what you expect nowadays, what they call Ratrods.
You know, that, when you talk about the Chevrolet 409 Tri-Powers, you know, the wrapped headers for the heat wrap, you know, you've got yourself a little 5-window here dropped, seriously, Chris, on the ground.
Yeah, this is not something you want to hit a pothole in.
And, you know, you can tell from the way he's set up controls, these guys are they've completely done their own thing.
No kidding, yeah, they really have.
And he likes the fact that, okay, we've got some metal work to do. That makes it cool.
Yeah, I mean, that thing's been welded on, and it's still got the bumps in it.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's part of the appeal for the cars that are down
Yes,
here.
exactly. In fact, this is very, you know, it's got all the pitting in the metal. It hasn't been taken down and sandblasted. That's really pretty cool.
So you have a time warp engine from way back. You got a time warp 5 window. You drop it on the ground. It's Ratrod City all over again.
Absolutely.
And although I hear, Chris, they don't like the word rat rod.
Well, I can understand that because it's got sort of it's a down market connotation to it. Something that's, well, who wants to be called a rat? You know?
That's true.
Honestly.
But this is what I like the best.
Yes, it's obviously been chopped, and they haven't bothered to fix it all
That
up perfect.
to me
That's
is
beautiful.
just beyond cool. Folks, this is the kind of stuff you get to see only when you come downstairs. It's the real culture. It's the guys who get in it on the grassroots, who started their hobby this way on these kinds of cars. Front pocket money, not rear pocket money. It's the kind of stuff we're going to keep exploring down here at the Detroit Autorama Extreme downstairs at Cobo. Chris, I see a flip top car we got to go check out.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, when you think about the downstairs Autorama stuff, Chris, you just really never know what to expect.
No kidding.
So what do
yeah.
we... So forget the idea of rat rods. There are also like a bunch of race cars and street cars. The most eclectic kind of mix of automobiles you've ever seen. And you know, in hockey, when there's always that big fight, well, there's always an instigator. And
well, not quite
and
this way.
little Comet is an instigator. What you don't understand about this thing, it's got this monster motor with dual quad carburetors, cross-ram from each other, flip-top fiberglass front end. I mean, this guy went to an extreme.
Tube frame.
Not to mention the paint job.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, I mean, this is when you were drag racing back in the 60s and 70s. This is the kind of thing you'd see. What you might not see, though, but are those gangster wide white walls on a race car. Absolutely infused with personality. The instigator definitely instigates our minds on what you might expect to see down here.
That's cool. A-Gas, it was ELTA record holder in 1967.
A 1967 record holder, you know, those cars really, why would they go anywhere?
I was 9.
You were 9?
I was 9.
Why
9.
would 9? 9. Why would they need to go anywhere when they're that cool? A little piece of Detroit history right down here at the Autorama. But look at this. Some guy you knew, Dirty Sanchez, here in the speed equipment. Chris, there's nothing like a panel delivery. And folks, panel deliveries used to be the bane of a collector. They would want an old red truck.
Deliveries.
Yeah, but
I love
they're
panel
just
deliveries.
a work truck. Who would ever collect something like that?
Me.
But why is it that these guys are taking basically a farm implement or a work truck and making a street rod out of it?
Think of it. This was the original van.
Okay, yeah.
You know, remember vanning in the 70s?
Don't come a knocking when this van's a
Van's a
rockin'?
rockin', exactly.
Yeah. So you think that because it's it's not the cool two-door coupe, it's not the convertible model that makes it better?
Yeah, there's not as many potential buyers in this market, shall we say,
Okay.
but it's much more individualistic. But
Too much.
you can get stuff in the back and have fun with it.
You think you've seen it all? You haven't. Follow us. Where's Joe? Well, when you talked about all the wonderful paint jobs we saw upstairs, Chris, when you come downstairs, how about
No
this
paint job at all.
Yeah, you get to show your car with no paint
We can
job.
paint any car for $29.95.
What are you, Earl Scheib?
Yep.
Well, I'll tell you, I wasn't expecting this. This isn't a DeLorean.
It's a Studebaker, 1941 Studebaker.
But how come the roof isn't right?
Because it's been chopped.
You can see
He's done cuts here, another cut back in there. Been a lot of work.
so the welding, I mean, it's welded up, but it's not all filled in and made to be pretty.
No, not yet. And
But-
maybe never.
But sanding down to bare metal, I mean, this has got to be labor intensive unless you kind of seal it. I mean,
Yeah, you better, because otherwise there's going to get surface rust on it in no time flat.
so how cool is that, folks? I mean,
And it looks like a DeLorean.
I mean, the idea of just taking the metal right down to its bare essentials.
Sounds like they're taking some metal down to its
They
bare.
are. They're
yeah.
they're actually sawing and welding cars together down here.
That's
this
cool.
is the kind of crazy things we find here downstairs at the Detroit Autorama, not just in 2015, but right next door to this Studebaker, we've got metal flake paint on this crazy kind of roadster truck.
Yes.
But that's like the
And then you go one road past that, there's another metal flake pickup truck.
Right.
And a Studebaker.
because you know a lot of guys love the heavy metal flake in the 60s. People still use it on their speedboats. So it
It's
goes
hard
from
to
high gloss,
paint.
high gloss flake to
To none at
Nothing at
all.
all. And that's kind of the
This is what you
appeal.
call, I guess, bare naked.
Oh, there is a group called Bare Naked Ladies. Maybe it had something to do with this car. Probably not.
I don't think
They're
so.
in the Big Bang Theory. Speaking of cool things, though, Chris, we have to go over to Speed Cult and check out some of the metal
You're
art.
going to lose me here.
Chris is going to now spend every dime he has.
I'm
Cindy's
sorry,
going to
I
absolutely
won't
throw
be
him
able
out of
to
the house.
retire.
And there'll be no inheritance from the Chris Sawyer after he gets into this wonderful metalwork over at Speed Cult. Let's go check it out.
Let's go now.
Oh, look at this. Chris, I'm telling you, this is Motor City Dragway.
Yes.
The founders of the Autorama.
Oh my
Wait a
God.
minute. And
There's a thing for when better engines are built, vehicle build nail heads.
Oh, look at this. This is what your mom put in your bottle, Pabst Blue Ribbon. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, Mrs. Sawyer.
No, it's more like Werner's.
Frankenburg, made from real bovine corpses. Come on, this stuff.
Reincarnation.
And Chris,
Built from
look,
dead guys.
oh wait a minute, we're on television. Hey, look at this, kids. White Castle. I want this. Only $35, cut from real steel. Chris, is this stuff cool?
I don't know how I'm going to get it all home.
But wait a minute, you can't. I mean, what would you pick out?
A lot.
I think every car manufacturer, beer. There's Werner's. Detroit.
Yes.
Look at the Detroit.
The Ghoul.
The
There's
Ghoul.
the
The Ghoul, who, by the way, at WMTV, I don't expect the executive team to understand this, but the Ghoul is our cable access hero in Detroit. This is why WMTV should be looking at the Ghoul with, look, one lens missing from his gut. That's cable access.
You know,
in
I
Detroit.
can see it.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm thinking, I really like that Detroit script. I mean, you could spend a fortune. This is all cut out of steel, laser cut. These things are, every piece down here is collectible. You talk about stuff for your man cave, if they don't have it in here at Speed Cult.
You even have Man Cave.
What?
Yeah.
They even have
Here we got one.
man cave.
Oh, you're not going to get that out of there. Here, take one of the others. There you go.
So that's what you can expect to find down here, stuff for your man cave. Any one of these signs, any one of them, is not only part of Detroit culture, but part of culture we would love to have tomorrow.
Oh, yes.
All right.
I don't know how I'm going to get this home.
Now, Chris will be walking around the rest of the show with your pants sagging, because he'll be carrying bags of metal. But that's what makes downstairs Autorama Extreme so cool. Let's go back to looking at cars, and we're going to buy everything.
And what's wrong with that?
Let's go this way.
Oh,
Well, we were talking about some of the really cool cars we've seen down here. Chris,
I'm on total overload.
all right, when you're upstairs at the Autorama, you're like, your eyes are like this. Down here, our smiles are like this. Check this thing out. I mean, Wiggins, Colorado, the
Horseshoe Tavern.
This is the old buggy that took you up to the Horseshoe Tavern in Wiggins, Colorado. Are you kidding me? How did that get here? And look at this baby. I mean, everybody loves the small pickup. These little pickup trucks, I mean, if you restore them, the hottest ticket around. But guess
No
what?
kidding.
This is just cool just the way it is. Forget the restoration. Yeah, mechanically, I bet you could drive it anywhere, Chris. But that big, with the flathead chrome down it like that?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
don't judge the mechanicals by how it looks on the outside, because
Yeah.
I bet you this thing runs like a top.
I bet you it does. You know? And then right behind us, if you look over there, it's apparel, Angel or not, it's apparel for the little devil in you.
Okie dokie.
Yeah. So you never know when.
And I thought BDSM was a driving school.
No, that's for the church lady. Because she's down here saying, the little devil in you. It's something
Could it be
to do with
Satan?
Satan. Yeah, it is. But this is why it's so cool. I mean, you can see they got apparel, they got all the head scarves, and Chris, you would look especially cool with a couple of those pointy metal things coming out of your chin.
Yeah, and you'd look really good buried in my backyard. You keep thinking that
Okay,
way.
but I know we tease, but let's face it, this is the automotive culture today. We absolutely love it. We're going to soak it in. Chris has got his eyes being pulled in two different directions because there are other cool cars we have to check out. So now we have to go this way. You know, Chris, when you spot things, I don't know why you think that they're so crazy, because you never see a Rambler American, but then you showed me what's under the hood.
Sorry, John, but it's a 302 Ford C4 automatic.
A Ford small block tucked in the...
Chevy 10-bolt rear end.
I can't believe it.
Mustang 2 front end, so you'd know that.
That's right. So you've got that classic, the blue and white, the white spear on the car. He's even got the roof rack, complete with his surfboard and a little cooler.
I'll bet you George Romney did not think of this before he went to run for the governor.
He certainly didn't. I mean, you'll see everything down there. Even like a car like this, Chris. Look, the folks from Mary Grove Awning. There's a sunsetter. Do you get the power unit that comes out? I mean, how cool is that?
That keeps the dog, you know, so he's in shade in the back.
Yeah, but then you just got to pay to go to the tanning salon because you're not getting all those good ultraviolet rays.
Yeah.
But no, look at this real small. Pinstripes on the side, chrome reverse with baby moves. These are all the classic hot rodding stuff. And on this big old sedan, I mean, this thing looks like a limo. I mean, you could throw a party back there.
Absolutely.
In fact, that's bigger than the party room I rented at Chuck E. Cheese for your birthday last year.
Well, yeah, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get sick on you, but
No, that's okay. You left early.
well,
But I want a stuffed animal. You want it?
no.
Oh, I think it's over here. We got to keep walking because this stuff's too cool. Follow us, gang. Okay, Chris, when we talk about these old trucks and cars, there was a huge difference in when the cars rolled off the line in the 20s and the 30s.
Yeah, it really changed.
But look at these two. This little speed shop pickup. I mean, a classic 3-window, you know, it's what everybody kind of thinks about when they think about a street rod. But just earlier in the 20s,
Yes.
that tall look,
Right. Looks
Doesn't-
like a phone booth.
it does look like a phone book. But you know what? In a way, it's still kind of cool. There's nothing
Oh, yeah,
wrong
yeah,
with
yeah.
it.
No. Not that there's anything wrong with it.
So you don't have to chop, channel, cut everything. Sometimes just having that look, maybe leaving it as a tall roof truck is the differentiator that sets it apart. And that's what makes downstairs here at the 15 Autorama so cool. Is it Autorama Extreme? Yeah, because here's a guy doesn't follow the crowd. Kind of like Cars in Context.
Really?
Yeah, the crowd's over there. Let's follow.
Okay.
Chris, not everything down here has to be primer, scraped metal.
No, not at all. There's some really nice pieces over here.
I mean,
I've seen an awful lot of nice cars that I could walk away with.
Right.
That you would expect to be upstairs.
No, I like
but they're
this
a little bit different.
I mean, there's a lot of this primered look.
There is a lot of
flathead.
this. That would drive me nuts after a while because I would just like to finish it out nicely.
You know, you just.
But I don't think that I would quite do this.
This is absolutely.
This is
stunning.
gorgeous.
Cream.
Great color combination.
The cream. I think the cream makes it. It really is.
You
gorgeous.
could take it to Lansing on the homecoming.
Yeah. But check this out. An old.
Oh, this is
F100.
really wild.
You know, when he bought this,
F100.
Chris, he was on the horns of a dilemma.
Yes, and
Yeah.
he still is, I think.
Yeah, but to me, these old trucks. It's a '53.
But
Great
he's
year,
got
'53.
He's got a Chevy in
But
it.
that's what happened. A lot of guys. because
53, was that when you were born?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That had a lot of cool stuff, and I really think, and for you guys who like Mel's show on WMTV, this is one of her latest ideas, is to put a planter in a boot. So Mel, on your show, Points of Horticulture, and look, Lauren caught a chair. This is so much fun to see all the wonderful things that they have. It's this 53 pickup. It's just
I like it.
But this is one of my favorites. Check out this. Now, I think when you do an interior, Chris, to me, it should look like a casket. What do you think?
Yeah, no.
No? I really like the pleated look because you could fold your hands in it and say, I'm in heaven.
It's pleated and ruched.
Oh, he's got
Oh, I
gold
love the springs he's got for holding the Cokes. There's a cup holders.
wire springs, and check it out.
Got the Willwoods underneath.
Yeah, and he's got the
that's
twin.
cool.
He's got the twin brake
Master
setup,
cylinder,
master
yeah.
cylinder. So, I mean, you talk about knowing where your
I'll
transmission
bet you
is
this
going
thing
to
just
Can you imagine?
flies.
And your gear shift knob is truly a gear shift
Oh,
knob.
I love
gear
that.
shift knob. Too cool.
That would hurt,
Yeah,
but it would be worth it.
yeah, I think so.
And then you have that
Oh,
right
my
next
gosh.
door
Yeah.
with the
Wow.
with the aluminum pans on the
These little tea buckets?
dishes for the wheels.
All right, this is something special to me because
This is gorgeous.
this could be upstairs, but he wants to be with where his roots were.
It's,
You know,
it's
these-
more like a lake speedster.
Oh, suicide doors. What a tea bucket. This
I
thing is
love
phenomenal.
this.
Check this thing out.
Wow.
The paint is flawless.
Look at the
upholstery-
interior. He's built the seats straight into the bulkhead.
Right.
Gorgeous.
Gives much room.
Just
Chrome
gorgeous.
steering wheel.
And
It's all
he's
part
not,
of the.
Look at the engine he's running.
What
You'll
is-
be surprised.
Let's see. Oh my goodness. Who needs a V8 every single time? You don't
That's
need.
right.
That is too cool. I love guys that do period correct stuff, really neat technology with that
That's
special
a
look.
32 Ford B engine, the four-cylinder from the Model B.
But look, I mean, it's perfect in condition. He's probably made it super reliable.
Yeah, running two Zenith carburetors. He's got the gauge on it to show his fuel pressure is.
Perfect.
That is cool.
Absolutely. You'd never expect to see something that wild and cool down here at Autorama Extreme. But you know what? I think we found a friend of yours. Want to go look at him?
Sure.
All right, let's go this way. Okay, I promise you that you would definitely find something here that Chris would like. This reminds me of Chris because Chris's last girlfriend was a real dog.
Now wait a minute.
Oh, no, I'm just kidding. No, this dog is Scraper.
She had her shots.
Yeah, and Scraper, this is what Linda Welther from East Point calls a 55 Ford pickup car.
Which is
Why?
really cool.
Because it's kind of like, it was a car at one time, and it's kind of, Chris, tell me, does that look like a GMC? Like
You know, yes, it does. It looks like something.
Like they put a bed on the
yeah.
back of this 55 Ford, so it's kind of like a Ranchero, which they didn't build in 55,
Yes.
but it's cool. It's really cool.
But it's still got the same 272 it came out of the factory with an automatic.
Really?
Yes.
So that makes it even cooler, and even if it is your dog Scraper,
But I also like what she did, where she went flat with this, and she also painted the chrome.
yeah, instead of getting it chromed, by the way, chrome's not great for the environment, she actually just took this off, blasted it to get all the rust off, and painted it silver. How cool.
Chrome is not as bad as you think it is. Dear Lord.
I know. You can't get anything
When you start
chromed
turning
nowadays.
into an environmental weenie, the whole world is gone. There is no hope for the future.
Speaking of weenies, that dog would love one right about now.
Absolutely.
But there's even more fun stuff to check out because we don't want to run out of time in this show. We're having too much fun here at the 2015 Detroit Autorama downstairs at Autorama Extreme. And speaking of extreme, Chris, I see some extremes that way. Let's go. Well, Chris, you know, we've seen stuff from the 30s, we've seen stuff from the 60s. I kind of like this era. You know, you got an old Ford Deluxe, you got this really cool Chevy Coupe, but you know, these cars they're probably as far as they're going to go.
Right, absolutely.
Now, I think if you guys come down here and you say, well, why am I looking at projects? These aren't projects. In fact, this guy's got a sign on his side window that says, built, not bought, as if he bought it this way.
Yeah, okay.
No, the cool thing about these cars are they're loved and driven just the way they are. They don't need to find that last piece of chrome, that missing panel. This is the way they like it. The colors, the patina, it's all part of that culture. You know why? Because they don't want to drive the cars that are upstairs. They want to be in their own particular love.
Yeah, well, the cars upstairs are so well done that if you get a scratch or a little, even a little bip in the paint, man, you want to kill yourself.
Do you know that when you talk, I just hear this drumming sound coming out of your mouth?
I know. I keep wanting to do this all the time. I just can't help myself.
That sound means that the pinup girl contest is going to start shortly. I hope they don't dance to that.
No.
There must be some older pinup girls because my grandmother could outdance that beat. But what do they say in American Bandstand? You know, I like the beat and it's easy to dance to.
Yeah, that's easy to dance to if you're a one-legged dog.
Which is, you watched our show last year downstairs at the Autorama Extreme. We did talk to the pinup girls that time. This time, my wife Jenny and Chris's significant other Cindy would not appreciate us spending all afternoon with the pinup girls.
No.
No. So we're going to spend our time like buying stuff.
Yes. We're going to go back and get some of those signs.
That's right. So honey, go ahead and buy that pair of shoes because we're going to buy some signs. I also want to check out Winfield's Customs. If you guys want to see exactly what you learn when you're down here, to see the actual pros like Barry Winfield himself come down.
Not Barry Winfield, Gene Winfield.
Oh, Gene
Barry
Winfield
was
Barry,
Automobile Magazine.
That's right.
See, you're getting old.
Gene will actually cut stuff, and we get to see sparks flying and things. And I think there's some appeal. I don't think a car down here is here without being welded.
No, absolutely. So let's go over.
All right, let's go check
Take a
it
look.
out. Well, Chris, this is where the rubber meets the road? No, where the grinding wheel meets the metal.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are actually learning how
Chopping the roof on Model A.
and having a pro teach them.
Yes.
So you bring your car down here and say, hey, you want to be a demo car at the Autorama? And guess what? I'll show you how to make these. These are pretty tricky. I don't know.
It's really tricky chopping a roof. It is really tough.
If you've ever seen some cars that have not done so well, you realize why measuring is a good idea.
Yes. Which is, this is definitely a case of measure like 12 times then cut.
Yeah, remember that? Measure twice, cut once? Well, this is like measure a million times because you're not going to find another car like this sitting at your corner used car lot.
No, and if you get it wrong, you can always put some metal back in, but you better be good at that too.
Yeah, that's true. So this is the kind of cool thing. I mean, it's all part of this, Chris. It's not just chopping and welding. It's not just about the finishes of the cars or the lack of finishes of the cars. Autorama Extreme is about the culture of, I don't want to be what's upstairs. I just want to be different. It's never really been different in the auto. It's always been like that.
Yeah, and the thing is, as we said so many times when we've done the shows like at the cruise and everything, is that you have so many different variations and so many different divisions inside the whole culture.
Right.
And they can coexist. They get along because everybody who does one of those really pristine cars understands this at its basics.
They were here at one point.
They were here, absolutely.
And everybody down here, and they saw upstairs, I don't have $100,000, but I'm real happy to be the counterculture. I'm the opposite end of that. It's kind of really cool. The love is here. The heritage, it's all here. And the learning continues to go on. We want to pass this culture from one generation to the next. If we don't, Chris, this whole car thing is going to go bye-bye. And speaking of going bye-bye, something down here caught my eye that I have to absolutely show you before we close the show downstairs. Chris, I've had, bicycles, I've ridden motorcycles, but I've never...
Oh, you're talking about that thing?
I've never seen anything like it. Let's go take a look, folks. Well, we've seen cars, we've seen cycles, we've seen crazy things, but I don't think, when you talk about...
I don't want to meet the guy who rides this thing. He's
at
big.
This. Look at this cool motorcycle down here at Autorama Extreme. Now, if this doesn't define the word extreme for you, Chris, how extreme is this?
This is crazy.
I mean, the frame looks like it's made out of a swing set. Okay?
No, it's way bigger than that.
And is that a real engine?
Well, the cylinders are from a Pratt & Whitney radial airplane engine.
So an airplane engine, okay. And then...
That headlight is a beauty salon hairdryer.
Well, some of you ladies would probably recognize having your head stuck underneath that.
The taillights are aluminum vases.
No way.
The oil tank is a propane tank. The gas tank is two 1950 GMC rear truck fenders. This is cool. This is imagination gone wild.
When you talk about
and look at what it's surrounded by.
Yeah,
I
mean,
love this.
This stuff is just, it's the creativity part. Yeah, these guys are probably not vice presidents of some design.
No, in fact, it's Ron Fitch's Custom Cycles.
There you go. See, the talent and the creativity that you see down here is not what you expect. This really is to me, this is why you come downstairs.
Oh, absolutely. This is just a bit of what you see. I mean, you go a little farther in there. There's a sidecar that's done all in tube.
You can
Bike
see
that's done in tube.
So these little braces are Craftsman wrenches welded together.
Exactly. I mean, it's so cool.
It gets crazier as you look. The closer you look, the crazier it is down here.
The more stuff you see.
Well, folks, I hope you kind of enjoyed our little look downstairs at the 2015 Autorama. I hope you've checked out our show from upstairs at the Autorama. Chris, I think it shows that car culture is still alive and well in Detroit.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, I'm looking at this and saying it's going to get bigger than this, to the point where Cobo isn't going to be big enough to hold this.
Yeah, we hope that big expansion comes pretty soon.
Absolutely.
Well, again, I have to thank Chris Sawyer of virtualdriver.com.
You're welcome, John.
Chris, thanks for coming down here. We really had a blast with you guys. And I hope you guys had a blast. If you haven't checked out our show from last year on YouTube, Cars in Context TV on YouTube. Remember our motto, knowledge is power. So until next time, from downstairs here in Car Culture Land, I've been your host, John Clor. Thanks for watching.